All right. So let me switch this to public. Sorry, that's my bad. This is beautiful, right? It surely shall. Public. There we go. This is my last few steps, you guys. Want to make sure it says public. And then I'm going to check that real quick. Man, this is going to be awesome, man. If you are hearing this message, you are the resistance. Mokoye. We're going to share this also so we have our brothers and our sisters coming in from Facebook. And the website was already trying to give me some issues, right? So we usually start right after bat. I just have to push this information. We'll start. Because sometimes there's no cooperation, right? So, oh, come on. Sorry, guys. We got this going on. It's going on. You better believe it's going on. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes this happens on a live at the very beginning, but I would say 9 more seconds. All because the AI or whatever, right? I usually put smileys. I'm not putting a smiley. And at least, there we go. Hello, holy ones. Andrew, yes, you're live. Good day, brother, the scientist. Azubuk. Hey, fam, it's Azu. Greetings, Azu. Thank you for being here, holy ones. All right, this is Kima. So we're kicking it off with spirituality, awakening, ascension, the multiverse, and actually it's hard to understand spirituality without it. So, Makoye, when we prepare ourselves, we get ourselves kind of like you do meditation. You put this energy into spiritual realms. And so we're like trying to explain even spirituality to beginners. Basically, you have the normal world, which we refer to as the 3D world, that people just only see with their eyes or perceptions, 5 senses only, those perceptions, the 3D world. And you have this idea that, no, there's more. There's many more, actually, levels of, you would say, consciousness. You could also say body and mind and form. So you are in the structure. And you need to understand this structure in order to know what is spirituality, what is a spirit, what is the spiritual world, what is God, what are angels, what are demons, what are dreams, what is imagination. Okay, so this leads to our awakening. Spirituality. You learn spirituality to now you're thinking, you're having thoughts about the spiritual world. You're having conversations about the spiritual world. You're researching information and videos about the spiritual world. I love you, holy ones. Thank you for being here. And you are holy. And by the end of this video, if you keep watching all the way through, you will realize that that is what you are. Holy. Makaya. And this is not from a religion perspective, and no disrespect to them. We love you. We don't judge any religions or beliefs. Okay, I just want to make that point clear when we talk about Christ consciousness, that is a consciousness. Okay, but this is talking about spirituality, and that's what this is, because we're realizing those spiritual levels, and they're called dimensions and densities, like matter forms, biologies. So you think science only, but no, spirituality includes physics, measurement, calculation. That's why sometimes the guardians can give you exact years. Hey, this is like 26,556, years ago. So we have this information coming to you again from the Guardian perspective, and we'll explain that too, because we're going to assume some beginners are going to be watching this. Amachua, more of this holy star seeds coming on in. The scientist, yes. That's right, Brandy. Brandy, for me, it's been a while, or for you? For me, I've been here every day except yesterday. I missed yesterday. That's only because I went live on Instagram. I have to give attention to some of my other platforms. Crystal Star's in the house. Oh my gosh, wasn't that awesome, Crystal Star? Yeah, it was freaking awesome. I was like just flowing hardcore. So that was a really good break the ice live on Instagram. Patrick Justice, greetings. All right, thank you for being here. Good day to you all. All right. Yeah, cleansing thoughts. Cleansing, smudging, and protection. Unconditional love, holy and completely pure. That's right, holy ones. Because you realize, while we can call it a matrix, it's also consciousness. This is a facility. This structure is facilitating consciousness, God, for it to be able to explore itself, discover itself, know itself. And so, yeah, it's a matrix, but God is present. So it's alive. The entire thing. Think about this, okay? We think about, scientists will go, when you start thinking about reality, you want to know, what is it made of? Well, they talk about particles, and then they have some ideas in their mind about that stuff. And then they learn some science, they learn some math, and you guys realize this is one level of reality. Okay, you believe in God, or you talk about angels, you mention spirits, you believe there's something, but not from this corporal world, physical world. No, you know that these beings are coming from somewhere else. Why? Because they're ghost-like. You can see through them. They're spirit form. They're not body like us. Exactly. All right? And that's just one level. Okay? That's what a spirit is. It's a physical body. To us, it's called a spirit. We call it a spirit. These are alien beings, multidimensional beings in these other reality fields. So spirituality, okay, you get that framework. In spirituality, you learn what you start thinking about. Even if you're not used to it, maybe you're just thinking about sports and sex and work and sex and school and sex and your kids. Well, okay. And then it's like, whoa, there's more, much more. There's like, wow. And so when you learn the structure, it makes sense to your left brain and goes and registers there's God outside this left brain. Okay, beyond science, what science has measured, what science understands now. Okay, so they will learn multidimensionality. They're forced to become aware of stargates, and because that's after they find out what's this deal with aliens and UFOs? How does that work in our physics model? You don't have a model for it, but do you think the government stopped, or the science and the people in power stopped? They keep going until they know what the hell's going on. They put billions of dollars, trillions of dollars into finding out what's going on in reality. You don't think they know what's going on in reality? That there's actual things called, these other extraterrestrial races, not just one kind, many, many, many kinds. So it's not even a belief or an opinion. Okay, not only people have seen them, I have seen one. In my life, I've seen 3. But one actually interacted with me. So So that one stands out of all of them. So we have these realities that some of you just cannot face yet, or maybe you're ready but not sure. Okay, but you are curious. That's why you looked for a video that talks about spirituality, about awakening. What is that about? Ascension. Awakening and ascension is you're expanding through these reality fields in your consciousness. You drop the body, okay? The consciousness ascends through after your spiritual awakening. After you realize and then there's something that has to do with your DNA, because you activate with your consciousness, your energy, your spirit, you activate within you your DNA. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to happen through many lifetimes. But we don't have any more lifetimes, many lifetimes. That's why the guardians come in. Hello. They all come in and start teaching you about ascending, about building your Merkaba, about doing your chakra, okay? About learning about the Christos and about the angelic war, the fallen beings, what these beings are. We learn everything, what planet they're from, what their DNA is, where what their agendas are, what their organizations are called. You learn that here through Christos Avatar, and you want facts or proof, or you want source. Okay, Ashiana Dean, Iasha Ashiana. This is the source of this information, specifically Voyagers 2. So you can find the PDF, you can get the PDF, or you can watch these workshops. There's a lifetime of, you do not have enough time to understand all of those workshops in your lifetime. You only need the most pertinent ones, the ones talking about ascension. Realize it's all going towards ascension, where all the guardian information is leading up to your understanding of being able to ascend. Okay, so spirituality, you start learning about what the spiritual warfare is, and then you have to protect yourself. You have to know how to protect yourself, and also realize what has been duping you, what has been tricking you, what are you believing actually about God or angels or demons. We check that very closely. Okay, so it makes you feel uncomfortable at first, but then you start listening and like, whoa, you start feeling and like, whoa, it's a paradigm shift. We're not trying to make you uneasy, holy ones. We love you. We wish it could be painless. But this world is so dark. This world is falling. You realize that even right at the beginning, when you go into the fetus, the spirit consciousness energy came into the fetus of the human parents, whatever. That's when cheers so much, yeah. I think Ashiana talks about it being 45 minutes. I believe. I might be totally wrong. I'm sorry. So don't quote me on that part. I just know that it's, maybe it's 45 days. That would be a huge difference, right? Shit. But it's important to know. So I will find out for you, sorry. Some of you already know, so. But anyways, like, I just know that the Catholic Church will say that it's instantaneous, that the soul is in there already. No, honey. But there's a process of building the zygote, right? It's not like, it has to have the freaking form to receive this consciousness. It doesn't have that form yet at the very, very inception point. So, anyways, that's not tonight's topic, sorry. It's just interesting. But spirituality and ascension and awakening, and also this multiverse. And you'll see the diagram tonight for sure. And you're gonna learn, wow, this all makes sense. Now we're seeing things differently. You'll realize or you don't. You'll feel or you won't. We got our vatos in the house. We got my moderator, Isabel's sister. Thank you for being here, Holy One. All right, you did live? Awesome, sister. It was so hectic. I couldn't read everyone's messages. No way. There was no way. There was 100 people. There was 100 people at once. But there's, you know, I don't know. Anyways. What's up, Isabel? Patrick Justice, Funky Tiger. Oh, wow, really? One video? Thank you for being here, man. All right. See, this is more calm. At least I can read your guys' messages. There, it's not, I wouldn't say impossible, but I would need moderators over there too, you know? Oster One, how y'all doing, Holy One? King Smurgle Gurgelson, the Viking. There is no fluke when it comes to spirit, Vato Loco. Yeah, fellow alien hybrids, what's up? Oh yeah. Privyet, Holy One, Vedma. Diamonds and hearts and royalty, yeah. Oh, you saw it, Patrick. Thank you, Holy One. All right. I'm kind of reading backwards, sorry. Yeah, I think I caught up then. Awesome. And thank you once again, Isabel, for being a member, you guys. You can also be a member, you guys. You just have to push the join button. It's different than the subscribe. Funky Tigers being funky. Crystal Stars, so awesome, Holy Ones. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of people, and that was just. I personally believe that since it was my first live, there was only, they limit you. They don't want to like throw some total random person online in front of thousands of people unless they have some metrics. Now they have metrics, and as soon as the video was over, I think they said I can receive those Instagram gift things from anyone who wants to. My first live, no, but now I unlock that or something like in a video game. Divine, hello, Life Money. Good to see you, sister. All right. You're the only person started to have some problems? Wow. Well, actually, if you like align yourself with the Christos, I mean, even just a part of it, right? This energy, well, not everyone likes it. Not everyone wants to be around it. So you're now resonating Christ consciousness or concepts or vibrations or sub-frequencies of it. Well, that makes others around in the 3D very uncomfortable. Understand that's high energy. Some people can't handle my energy. They can't handle this Christos avatar. They have to say some negative things even. So we will stand in our light. We will stand in our power. We're not sheep. We're not being, we're lions, but not like the predator, like the king, like a royalty, like this Lyran, Syrian, Anuhazi. You would say, this is part of your heritage. You guys are part of this Elohai, this 12D Christ avatar. That's why I called my channel Christos Avatar. Because this is what we're trying to bring in, this Christ consciousness. It's not here. This is not Christ consciousness. This is the ego. This is still reasoning mind. Mind that hasn't even gone into the astral spiritual levels, that hasn't gone into this is truth. This is spirit and truth. And then the next one is vision, you call clairvoyance, where you actually see these beings, okay? You see these worlds. So it's a progression in spirit from you would say atomic life, plant life, animal life, human life in the mind, reasoning mind, and then you have the astral being. You have an archetype consciousness, indigo child consciousness, Mochiwa. Some of you are indigos, baby. What's up, indigo? Yeah. I gotta hydrate. Hydrate, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mokoye wasi. Matichi awaka. Hepacha imuntu. Greetings, Vato Locos! I hope you have your crystal nearby. Yeah. So we are learning this knowledge once again. You're learning about ordinary life, but there's much, much more, some type of, you would say, unlimited life. It's unlimited, only basically limited to your own imagination. So you are going to learn that you can access this other realities with your consciousness in the privacy of your home, in your bedroom, meditating or whatever. You can access this anywhere with your consciousness, with your thoughts. You go there, you explore there, understand, you connect with these other real beings. You will experience them, see them, feel them, hear them. You will be part of this other type of race. You are. That's what you call a starseed. Okay, light worker, empath, psychic person. We are these indigo children. Okay, you are part of this, you would say, race that even Christ, the Jesus who came, was an indigo master. And this being is what was part of the Essene priestcraft. And this is part of, and his Master Templar teachings were the same like as every speaker, excuse me, that comes to Earth, like Ascension, speaker Ascension. Excuse me. You know, in different time periods, it's different avatars. Different avatars will come in and bring the Guardian teachings. Usually, it's the same group who are part of it, and all the indigo children that are coming in. Well, we're like the ones that are coming in for this indigo agenda. You know, so we are advanced, evolved beings, and this is part of your spirituality. You learn about this. You learn about what these angels are, and archangels, and avatars, and Rishi, and ascended masters, and God. We break it down, man. It's so complex. It's a multiverse, and let me show you, Vato Locos. Maybe you'll have some better like framework if you saw the diagram. Did I open the diagrams? Of course not. Sorry, guys. I just gotta open at least the main one. Let me open the main one at least. Alright, here we go. Yeah. The multiverse, which is a 15-dimensional time matrix made up of 5 density universes. So take 15, divide it. Well, inside of 15, you're going to have these density universes, and I'll show you. So there's three per density. Now, this is the Ascended Master level. You put them over here, Ascended Master. Here are their formal names. Geomantic Entity, the Rishi, the Eka. When you call them, that's the plural version of these beings. You call it Ramyanas. Are you a Ramyanas? Are you a Wachianas? Are you a Grandayanas? Now realize this is Lyran. You're gonna, these weird names like this, and like this, and like this. This is Lyran language. Actually, it's called Anuhazi, Lyran. So I will be teaching how to speak this language, and it's part of some of our techniques here. The original language, the first language. So these are the Ascended Masters, and these are outside of the matrix. This is the multiverse, because notice there's levels. There's 5 levels of multiverse. 5, you could say, holographic universe. Plural universes. So we call them, you can call them holographic universe, but I prefer to call them density universe, or just call them density. And the top one is density 5. You see it down here. And then the next one in is density 4. And then you have density 3, density 2, and the one that we're in is Earth. Now notice these other versions of Earth you call adjacent Earths. So we got Earth, we got inner Earth, we got adjacent Earths, Tara, Gaia, Armtana. Okay, we have beings that live on these not these planets, but I'm saying in these densities, like these Leonines, like the aqua hominids. Okay, you wanted to learn about spirituality. Well, it's about these levels of consciousness and spirit and body form. Okay, you see the different body, and you see the different mind, subconscious mind, instinctual, reasoning, astral, archetype, celestial, which is angelic, catheric, monadic, and karyadic are the archangelic conscious minds. And then you go into the Christic, the Buddhic, Nirvanic, and then beyond into these Particum minds, which are the violet flame, gold flame, and blue flame. So we are learning your spirituality. This is spiritual science, spirit and science. And you have a perfect body in dimension 12. Okay? And below dimension 12, below the Christed beings of the human race, well, below it that's where darkness starts. These are where the beings fall. Beings have fallen. Beings have fallen. So all the way up to the 11th dimension is phantom. Phantom beings, fallen beings, who actually fall to another multiverse. An exact copy of our 50-dimensional time matrix, but the shadow version. The shadow version of this reality field. But this reality field, also because it's a particle universe, remember this is spiritual science, well, always assume that there's an anti-particle universe. It's part of the physics that God has put within the time matrix. There's an anti-particle. So we have a phantom and an anti-particle and a inner Earth and all adjacent Earths. It seems overwhelming and complex, but no, we break it down and you get familiar and you come to the lives and you read the books and you learn the techniques, and wow, Holy One, something is happening in you. And you do have logos. You have the personal logos. You have the collective logos, race mind, planetary logos, planetary mind, the solar logos, galactic mind, universal logos, and cosmic logos, where the ascended masters are outside of the time matrix. Outside of a time matrix, that's where you will find God. And by the way, there's many time matrices, not just ours. So think of this as unlimited different races and beings with their own histories and their own people, their own creatures and things. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. We list almost 100 different alien races involved in the human drama. And all the ones in red on this are the fallen angelics. These are dark ETs that want to either annihilate you or conquer you, have dominion over you, feed off you. These are phantom, dark avatars. Now, I haven't put them on the phantom side yet, but I eventually will in future, upgrades to this diagram. But realize some of them aren't in our universe, but they come to our universe no problem with stargates and portals that they conquer and take over. That's how this all started. They took out the Stargate. They have taken out Stargate, Universal Stargate 12 and Universal Stargate 11. This is how this all started with the Anu Elohim, which are the predecessors of the Anunnaki. Okay? Before the Anunnaki in the 11th dimension. Remember, it's everything, you start at the top. You start up here. You didn't come in as pawn scum or come from an ape at the lowest level where we're at in D3. No, no, no. Okay, you came in from the top. We all came from ascended mastery. We all are ascended masters. That's what populates a time matrix. A time matrix is populated by ascended masters. Notice where they're located, above all of you. But this is what you are. This is what you are. And you just forgot. You come in here and you fall, and you fall, and you fall, and you fall. You see all these races who have fallen? These Anu Elohim, feline aquatic apes, Jehovian Anunnaki, dolphin, okay, Anu, Melchizedek, Egyptian, Pleiadians, Hyperboreans that have fallen, dinosaurs, malevolent insects who have fallen, insectoid races, you know, like alien greys, those insectoid beings that have terrorized and mutilated cows. Not only, right? So gargoyles and reptiles with birds with reptilian, well, winged reptilians, basically. That's what this is. Avian reptilian Odedicron, like a gargoyle. And dark angels. All kinds of crazy stuff in your spirituality. Dragons, Dracon. They're races, ETs, man. You call these beings in this Dimension 6 angels, like the Oraphim angel, the Emerald Oraphim angel, the Azurite blue angels. You have darkness, you have evil. Well, Guardians don't say evil, but you understand we also have light. Light is here too. This is part of your spirituality. We're coming from some high-level beings. This feline hominid from Dimension 12. Okay? This is your Sphinx. This is where on your planet you have this giant extraterrestrial statue. It represents the Christed avatar, the Christos avatar. Remember 12D? Christos avatar. Christ consciousness is being represented by the Sphinx. Think about that one. This is your multiverse, homies, and this is your identity, and this is your spirituality. This is what you are. You're all one. We talk about law of one. We're all one being. All of this is God. All of it. There should be one more giant sphere that encompasses it all, because that's what God is. It's outside of God is everywhere. That means God is here in these dark beings too. It's not outside God. It's inside. You are inside God. All of these races, good or bad, are inside of God. Okay? All of these, everything is inside, see? Everything's inside God. Everything. Nothing can go outside Creator. So this is part of your spirituality. This is learning outside of physical carbon matter world. No, honey, there's more, much more. I love you, holy vatos. What's up? Yeah. King Smurgle Gurgle was created after the last global catastrophe. The Emerald Tablets cover that well. Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Interesting choice of reading material. How does our moon tie in? Well, this is not talked about as far, by Ashiana, and maybe in some different advanced workshops. But it's like technology, you would say. there's too much evidence that there's aliens ships coming out and going, and that this information coming out is probably true about, the space program that's secret. So you got whistleblowers, not just one, but many. You got super soldiers coming out, whistleblowing. You have different beings coming out and talking. Everyone is being affected by the Ascension cycle, because it has to do with the planet and the planet's activations, and the planet's in that process of closing the stargates. We've closed gate 7, so I don't know if it's a few years. I'll have to check the date, but they give you a window of time where the next stargate will be closing. Just think of that as less consciousness, less consciousness, less consciousness, less consciousness, as each one closes into a dark period. It's a cycle. We're in like, it went like this, and now it's going back in. It opened, now they're closing. So it takes a few years for each one. It's like they speed up. Like it takes so many years, and it takes even less years and for the next Stargate, and then less years for the next Stargate. Whoa! So it will be like a funnel of time. You'll see everything go crazy like that. It's like a natural process of nature, you could say, of the planet itself. In this Merkaba field, understand that each dimension has a Merkaba. Dimension 1 Merkaba, Dimension 2 Merkaba, Dimension 3 Merkaba. You have density Merkabas. Like between our density 1 and density 2 would be a Merkaba. Stargate, passageway. These beings take ways, come through different ways. And know that even the space program has talked about these stargates. And that the ancient ones built artificial portals too. So there's artificial gates. I mean, you would say that were created. Because you realize there's natural gates in the planet. And so even stars, suns have portals. So you have a whole network of portaling, baby. You know, this movie that first came out was Stargate, and then they made a mini series, a series, a few series of Stargate, SG this, SG that. So, there is disclosure. And sometimes there is. In movies, in comic books, in cartoons, in books and stuff. That's where they're gonna show you disclosure. Think about that one. It's a tricky way of getting it into your mind. You're getting these thoughts into your mind. Someone is introducing you these thoughts to your mind. Now it's in your mind. You saw some cool action movie with your favorite movie star. Oh yeah. Now you're kind of familiar with the topic. Oh. You get introduced thoughts in movies, honey. In books. In video games. I forgot that one. Video games. There's some disclosure in video games. So if you start looking at video games closer and comic books closer, you would see these disclosures. Just saying. Because this is about consciousness. Everyone is expanding for a period of time. A natural period will be of you would say boosted spiritual growth will be now stunted. So take advantage of this time. That's why we say this is a great time to be alive, because you're going to go through a lot of shit in a short period of time. Wow, that's not fun, Damien. I don't want to go through shit. We're all involved in a political, a race drama, like the human race, which is made of several races, sub-races. We have race breaks down into sub-race, and a sub-race breaks down into family. So you got certain families And I talk about that in my angelic human race video. Check that one out. That's got the most views in all my channel. And it's the longest one, sorry. I don't know, maybe I've made a few lives that went over 3 hours before, so it might not be the longest one, but close, you know. Top 3 probably. It's not about how many hours. I don't even want to. It just seems like sometimes it just flows. It just flows, baby. It's like a great blessing, you know, to be part of this. Some of you are, right, experiencing some freaky shit. So you know something's happening with the planet and stuff. Patrick, yeah, opens your eyes. Chopa. Is that what I say? Chopa? Oh, get back to the choppy. Choppy. Okay. Candace Wood. What's up, Diamond Star? Double Diamond Star. How about Emerald? That sounds cool, right? Tariq Malik. Greetings, Holy One. Welcome. I don't talk anything about the archons. I don't really. Yeah, that's not something I talk about. I don't even know what that is. Because we have a lot of beings that, what I talk about is Anunnaki, and I talk about reptilians, but not the, I talk to them about the Necromatons, but I don't know what the archons are, sorry. But Prison Planet, I mean, to me, it is a prison planet. It's like consciousness is enslaved, spirit is enslaved, you could say, because we're worshiping wrathful, angry, hateful gods on this planet. Not just one religion. Look at most religions, and they're like war gods. We learn about law of one, okay? So there is a preference to God, because realize darkness is a fallen state. It's part of God. That doesn't say it's great to be that. Realize that that's the lower part that fell. It's not even involved in 12th dimension or 13th dimension or 14th dimension or 15th dimension or Ascended Masters. Now to take that a little bit further though, remember there's other time matrices, and in other time matrices, I remember even Ashiana saying something about this, that they have been taken over, like the Wezadek universe, or there is these other. Can you imagine Dark Rishi? A dark violet flame being? Dang, that would be sad, right? But anyways, in our universe, it stops at 11th dimension. Makoya. I mean the light starts falling after starting 11D and down. And there's a lot of beings who just go into the phantom. And you would say it is the beings in the phantom. It's kind of like the criminals in prison are still the ones ruling upside, on the streets, on the planet. Well, it's like this. The dark beings that are in phantom, in prison, are the ones ruling here. So it's a whole system of darkness, and they're very powerful if they've taken over entire matrices. So that doesn't even mean it's impossible for our matrix, but our guardians are standing at 12 dimensions. So that is Christ consciousness, honey. Now, if they take over that, imagine that. They would have control of all those dimensions. So we have this Emerald Covenant, which allows guardians, you, indigo children, to incarnate in the lower dimensions that are dark. We are coming into spiritual warfare. You have spiritual warfare from all the way up to 11th dimension. So that's a long ways to go. You're still going to be in spiritual battle. Now, the thing of it is, there's an addendum I can put, so it's not so horrible. When you get to 6th strand, there's something in the Human Templar where you'll activate all of the, you'll retrieve, and then activate your starseed DNA, which is 6 more strands. And then you will be a Christar. And it won't matter, because you will be beyond in the 12th dimension. You will have the DNA to go simply be in 12th dimension. And so a human has to make it to 6. You have to make it to 6th strand. I'm not saying for this lifetime. I mean, you have to make it to 5 strand. Okay, and learn about Merkaba and the new procedures for Ascension, which is available on Ashiana Dean. She's the only one that has this, rights to this this guardian material that's based off of, the Ayani, you call it. Now, Ayani, that means ascendant of the Yanis, which again is Liran Anuhazi, of the ascended masters. That's all that word means. Well, I don't mean to put it down. I'm just saying it means, it's another word for ascended master. Ayani. And then, to me, it's redundant. When you say Ayani, ascended master, okay, Ayani means ascended master. So why say ascended master, ascended master? So if you really want to say Ayani, go ahead, but it's just ascended master. I try to not make it complicated. Some of those things confuse you instead of, I don't know. I'm just saying that sometimes I use the English word, and then other times, like, for example, the Solar Rishi, the Lyran word is Brenoa. And you'll hear Ashiana always say Brenoa instead of Rishi. But she said, I've heard her say Rishi sometimes in workshops. But it seems mostly she says Brenoa. So, but it causes so much frustration for people trying to learn the information. When you got all of these advanced words you never heard of before, all in different, like, Anuhazi terms. And it sounds like New Agey. It sounds like, whoa. It's like, what is this? All these words. I mean, for me, I've been in it for years, so it's no big deal. But for newcomers, it's like, huh? I'm explaining it. This is another language. Brenoa, Anuhazi, these are, one thing I would like to tell you in Lyran Anuhazi is Shaddai Ure Akum Tan. Shaddai Ure Akum Tan. Shaddai Ure Akum Tan. So we are doing this. Oh my gosh, I feel good. You can say that throughout your day. I put that on. You become a member, an archangel or above, you receive this technique, or just find it on. I believe it's the Dance for Life, the Dance for Life workshop. It might be before that, but that's the one that I remember it from, Dance for Life workshop. But it's somewhere, I don't know where. There's like 5 discs, but people upload it. I don't know what they do disc-wise or whatever, but anyways, you could just become a member and help Christos out. And here we go, King Amachiwa. I also give you a link for an example of how to sing it, how to say it properly. Like, I could write it, I wrote it, but you need to hear an example of how to say it. So I give you the example. That's one benefit if you become a member through Christos Avatar, because you listen to it. You could just play that if you want. I say it when I go for walks. I say this every day. Shaddai Ure Akum Ton. 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 Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntun. Shaddai Ure Akuntun. Shaddai Ure Akuntun. Shaddai Ure Akuntun. So say it as much as often as you want. Makuchi. This is connecting you to Elohai, blue flame. Makuchi was, which is located in the middle of the earth. Imagine a pale turquoise six-pointed star. So seeing the symbol and the color connects you. It's a white magic. It's positive magic. She doesn't call it magic. I just said that right now live. It's like you're running imagination, visualization, and energy. Most humans won't do that. Don't do that. Don't even are aware of that. They don't even like to meditate or do yoga or diet or fast. So there's people on a journey, and there's people who are not. And we don't judge them. We love all. We love all. Weren't we once there? Weren't we once lost and hurting also and distorted? I had some distorted spiritual ideals before. I had to do shadow work. I had to do ego work. Some of you need to as well, honey. We are transmuting. Some of us are clearing karma and transmuting, not just ourselves, but those around us and the earth, the planet. Okay? We're involved in Earth's ascension, and you would say she's involved with ours. So we are going through a process of awakening, and maybe not everyone will go with the light of Earth. You know, ascension of Earth, some will go into the shadow that fell with Earth. Parts of Earth fall. So parts of the consciousness is falling. Some is rising. Okay? You have to get used to this idea that you go through metamorphosis. Just like the caterpillar. Ascension will be like that though. It'll be an instantaneous metamorphosis. Okay? We're talking about you having 5-strand. You're going to become this. And you're going to go through a instant metamorphosis called ascension. I mean, there's some steps involved, but it's so quick. It's like once a few moments, you know. So you will be going in this process. And there's also something you do with sliding techniques. There's like 12 slider video workshops. And also the new work that's being taught on Ashiana's website. Just look for it. You know, you want source, here's the source again. Okay, you find those most recent techniques. If there's a paywall there, I mean, you know, that's how she works, I guess. But whatever, you know, you might find some stuff on your own. And nowadays, you just do a search and put after that PDF. So, for cooking or whatever, right? So, you think outside the box or not. You think about and need this information, it will come to you. You want to learn Ascension, well, you're going to, you know, when the student is ready, the master appears. So, we are all in this synchrony, like you're going through synchrony, and I'm not bumping into each other. It was synchrony. My synchrony, wow, thank you. Your synchrony, and you're connecting. Some of you aren't in synchrony. You're not. You're using your free will to kind of like not be high vibe. That's your choice. You know, it's your free will. If you want to be grumpy and you know, dang, why? Look at the love. Do you say Davidas? BMX. Hey family, love and light. Yeah. Positive vibes. Look at that, Alia. Yeah. Kyle Other.
Acupressure had a profound effect on cured my acid reflux. Wow. Thank you for sharing, Holy One. He said something about acupressure. Also, guys, realize there's acupuncture, and people are doing things by just with knowledge of the foot. At the bottom of the foot, you got all these connections. You're going to be learning about nadis and NADIS, nadis, like channels for energy, what the Guardians call axiotonal lines. You have axiotonal A lines, axiotonal A, yeah, and because there's axiotonal B lines. We have the lines that come from the top of the head and come down the arms, this torso, down the legs, and those are channels. So acupressure, acupuncture, Eastern wisdom, but not only now, right? Now it's wisdom that people are becoming aware of and also encompassing. Well, you can access it from the feet and other areas like pressure. Acupressure is about certain, if you guys learn about this is medicine, energy medicine. Remember, we're here to be awakened, become masters of consciousness and energy. Become a master of energy, become a master of consciousness. Learn this stuff, become an expert in it, plan for being on a spiritual jeopardy, and so you could know all this stuff about energy. It should be active in your life, so might as well be knowledgeable about it, right? Yeah. Deborah Sky. Oh, I always say Sky, sorry. Deborah, how you doing, Holy One? Candace, Andrew. Yeah, see, stuff like that is unbelievable, right? He said his wife contacted him telepathically. So I had some ex-girlfriend who was like, we dated when we were teenagers, and then it wasn't until I was an adult, because I wasn't aware then, but she was psychic, and I never knew. It's not like she shared it with me, and we were very close and loving, but it was my first love, you could say. So we all have that sweet first love, right? I find out later, after we're adults and grown up, and that she was super psychic, and anyways, some people have the ability to visit you in your room with their mind and awareness. It's called astral traveling. Some people can, it's like things that are just absolutely impossible. I don't know. Like I suddenly saw exact words, or exact diagram, or a picture or animal, and I would tell her, and it was the exact answer. Or I got confirmation going my way, same way. Like, what the hell? And it's not even as if we were trying to do psychic testing or something, You just like, whoa, I should pursue this and become a master at it. Yeah, Realize it's a spiritual war. You guys watch Harry Potter? There's people training. There's people training in magical arts. They have knowledge, they have techniques and powers. You don't think it's real, and you don't even practice anything yourself, so okay. So these beings will keep doing what they're doing. You will not keep doing what you're not doing, I guess. And so, but there's different levels of human beings. You have these aliens and humans and mixed together, and some of those are connected to higher evolved extraterrestrial races, and they can probably invent things that don't exist, but they're not allowed to.
But I'm sure they create things for their own selves and their own families. They keep knowledge to themselves. They keep energy and technology for themselves. It's about themselves and their interests. Okay? We're not saying there's something wrong with trying to have security but keeping knowledge and innovation and medicine and energy from people and then keeping it to yourself. I'm sorry. That's dark consciousness. What you Yes, it is, Patrick. Like this information coming from Oceana and the Guardian group, this is extremely rare. And we just want to know truth. We desire only the truth, only real truth, not some distorted version or some lie, some false information technique. We strive for it, right? So it's hard to find this. And this is based on law of one. It's easy to understand and align to and resonate with. Because you feel bullshit. Straight up. You know that's not God. That's not God. That's something wrong with that. You have this inside you, man. This is a barometer from your higher levels. You are from these higher levels who incarnated in the flesh, made a soul contract to come in to help the human drama. You don't need to come here. You've already been here. You got the junk. You got it, man. You're an indigo child coming in to help the humans in 3D. Wow. You're so sweet. What I mean is you love humans, so you love these beings, and we're part of them, and they're part of us. It's more accurate to say we're part of them because they're the ones coming to help our asses. So. But it's part of our race. It's part of our people, homie. We're like badasses way up here, and damn, we're like, shh. We don't like act like it. We don't act like all, arrogant and like, hey, I'm better than you. No, I love you equally. We're all one. But some people are not going to treat you that way. They're going to treat you like they're under like you're under their heel. That you're just dirt. That you're nothing, and they'll make you feel like it. Not nice people. I just want to report to you guys on the mushroom situation. I did the casing today. Yeah! And I know some of you don't understand casing and think you don't need to case because you didn't case. I'm sorry you didn't case. You lost a lot of yield. You lost a lot of yield because you did not case. So, I can't wait now it's pinning time. Hurry up, please. No. What's up, vatos? Yeah, psychonauts. Awaken that third eye. And people are going to say, oh no, don't open your third eye. It's dangerous. Doing things like playing with Ouija boards is what is dangerous, okay? You want to open your abilities. Not attract dark energies in your life. Not get involved with them, certainly. Like playing with a Ouija board is asking for trouble. You're the type who are playing with Ouija boards who don't know what the F you're doing. Because this is something that's going to initiate something. Almost like you're giving permission. Yeah. Because you get involved with this communication. This automatic writing. Wow, what's that? I hear a voice from God. I am now an angel channeler. Woo! Hey, if you are these things, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just trying to say, Vato, hey, there is no chosen one. That's the dark creed, okay? The fallen side. The false creed. Hello. Anything about hierarchy, rank, who's better, who's worser, who's good, who's badder. No. No. As soon as someone judges, you know what's up. Oh, you're judging, honey. No, you're not. No, you're not judging. See? Transmute that shit. Wakaya. You will smile when someone judges you, right? Look at them with brilliant loving eyes, a real smile, baby. I love you. Have a beautiful day, baby. Yeah. Smother them, butter up, butter smother them with love, with smiles, and blow kisses, and don't start a fight with a guy and blow him a kiss, but you know what I mean if you're a dude, but be sweet. You get a troll in here in Christos Avatar, dude, we're gonna smother you with smileys and emojis and tell you sweet loving things because we love you. You got your kung fu, we got our kung fu, baby. Aikido, spiritual, we're gonna turn that. Well, we're not gonna do that. It's like a weapon. Turn their energy against them. We don't do that either. We're defensive. Like we would use pepper spray, not a gun. Defensive, effective, but to keep your sovereignty, to protect yourself, but not harming the person, not killing the person. You don't need to. There's ways to not do it. You can still protect yourself. Learn them. Nowadays, you have no excuse to learn a subject. Just learn. Go look, watch a video, learn, watch lots of videos, do research. You can do this. It's the new consciousness. Ayahuasca, vatos. Patrick. Show. Tasers. That's right. Stun guns. Dude, I used to sell those. I was in the security business. When I had my weapons business, I was selling pocket knives, personal security, stun guns, billy clubs, leather billy clubs, batons, like the expandable batons, handcuffs, nunchucks, ninja throwing stars, ninja uniforms, katana swords, samurai swords. It would be like movies from replicas from movies, like the Hobbit swords, the Lord of the Rings swords, the blade sword, the gladiator sword. I was selling medieval swords, carbon steel swords, and also like hunting knives, fishing knives, camping knives. Name brands like Cold Steel. I was selling like Kershaw, leather, Leatherman, Swiss Army, all kinds of like classics, and also blowguns and crossbows and tasers. So it was crazy, man. It was like, wow, man. I was selling brass knuckles and switchblades and butterfly. So that was like, whoa, man. That was a part of my life, and I was selling medieval helmets, suits of armor, shields, and I was into like fantasy swords. I loved fantasy swords, like stuff. It makes me think of Excalibur, and we know that King Arthur is part of this information, right? This is called round tables. Grid work, when you do planetary grid work in spirituality, you do something with the earth. And one of those things is, because you learn about the Templar, the Earth's Templar, and it's all about the consciousness. And so we heal the Templar of Earth. We also guard it, by the way. We're the team on the ground. Okay, there's teams in inner Earth, if it's not taken over, right? And then there's because there's different timelines, so you got to refer it. But there's teams in space, There's spaceships, there's motherships, there's guardians out there. We're not alone. But we follow a law of one creed. They're not saviors, but they are beings that have some of their own here, like the indigo child, like the starseed. Hello. Well, we have some maybe cooperation. You have the DNA. You're indigo. You have to awaken it. I know you have 2 of your strands turn on that humans don't. So we're learning about heart activation. You know, beings are trying to do throat activation. Blue ray, green ray, blue ray, green ray. And you're going to build your Merkaba. And you're going to learn how to slide. Tantri Tachima. I say, you know, I've been so vibing high lately, guys. Besides just my lung issue, my energies are so freaking improved. Like when I started focusing more on the Christ consciousness and the energy of it, my I don't know, it's been more sacred. Like that Instagram live last night, it was freaking awesome. It's like one day I'm sure I'll be able to just like, I'll just be able to be pure energy, like I won't even need to do anything. I'll be like these, you know, like these people, like the young Buddha guy. His name is, you could say young Buddha or little Buddha, or I think he's little Buddha. He was like a young guy, like a teenager, and he's already meditating for over a year in a tree, and people would be coming and photographing him in a daytime, but they would be closing it off. This shit is real. So these people like this are super disciplined. Can you imagine you doing that? Going to a cave, or do you even need to? That's what I would like to say. I don't believe you have to, but realize that we're learning Kathara. We're learning Kalanta. We're learning Ascension mechanics for real. Something different, I would say. Now, it's called bioregenesis. We're literally DNA regenesis, because you need it. This usually takes several lifetimes, several incarnations, but there's no time. We're behind. I show you guys, look. We're not cutting it. It's like we're like, oh shit, the other diagram. Okay. That's fine. I'll get it. Machiwa vato locos. Mokoi chit. I don't know if this is gonna work now. Well, actually, I'll just go like this then. You'll see them all open right now. Okay, where is it? Okay, it's this one. Alright, so we're like the Aryan race that started 65,000 years ago. The majority was white skin. The previous ones had different skin. But it's not the only race, obviously, that's here. But anyways, we're trying to get the 4th strand. All the beings in this time period are trying to get their 4th strand. We're not. Okay? We're not. So, since there's DNA blocks, there's a few seals. They're called seals, but it's confusing. That doesn't tell you anything. I call them DNA blocks. DNA seal blocks. So you understand what the hell it is. You just say, I have a Jehovian seal, I have the Zeta seal. Well, honey, that doesn't tell people shit. You're not helping anyone learn this stuff. This is a DNA seal. It blocks you from ascension, and a lot of humans have it. So normally you could have 4 strand and go to the astral, but now you can't because of a DNA seal.
Not just one. Some of you have more than one DNA seal. Some of you have implants you got to take care of. Anyways, here's another race that's supposed to have 5 strand. As soon as you guys get to 6 strand, see this? You will get the starseed DNA, 6 through 12. You will become complete. Where is it? Where is it? Of course. You will become complete. Right now, remember, we're still trying to do this strand and we're stuck somewhere. We're stuck. That's why you learn bioregenesis. So, while, damn it, let me put these in order because it's screwing me over. Actually, it's in order. What the hell? Yeah, I was trying to show you this diagram and then go back to the other diagram, but you're gonna be at getting all the starseed DNA at once, and so that's why you have to get to your if you wanted to escape everything, you would have to get to the 60, but most people are required to get to 5D. So this is extra. Because once you come to Tara, you would do this in Tara. You wouldn't be in Earth anymore if you ascend. That's why you need those 5 strands. But most humans are stuck here in 3D. They have 3D. They have 3D conversations. They have 3D relationships. 3D understandings. They don't have a heart chakra. You're like, what? I thought everyone has a green chakra, or a blue chakra, a indigo chakra, a violet chakra. No. Those are aliens that far in the future. Most of you only have 3 if you're Earthseed. These beings, you would say, aren't psychic. They're in the ego mind. They haven't even gone outside the ego mind. Some of you do have these activations. Now, it doesn't mean it's fully open. You could be just a tiny bit open and receiving 4th dimensional current. It doesn't get fully opened until you go through all your lifetimes. So the drama that we're in, we're trying to do this in one lifetime because there's no more time, man. You realize here, okay, 2021 was right around here. There's not much time left to complete ascension in planetary time period. That's not much time. I guess to us it's a few thousand years, but things can happen before that. During the Stargate opening closing cycle, during this time, something with the ETs could happen. I mean, just keep that in the back of your mind. But you would say there would be cataclysms for sure closer to this period. So now, once you get that DNA, though, some of you have your third eye. You're the ones who could be helped by UFO, by your guardian races, if you had these activated. Now, do all indigos have this all activated? No. You're just barely opening this chakra, or this chakra, the throat chakra. So people really need to go through a lot of work in this lifetime. Because, remember, now I just realized what I wanted to show you. Right here. You have 144 lifetimes in density 1. You live as female and male. Okay? So, and this is this whole New Age concept about twin flames, but it's not about romantic involvement.
But doesn't mean you don't have some soulmate. Like a soulmate is not the same as a twin flame. What people are calling a twin flame. Uh, This is a mix-up in the New Age movement. But anyways, you have 144 incarnations from here, 22,336,000 years ago, to now. You have lived male, female, male, female, male, female, all 144 times. You have 144 selves, other selves, in all of this history. And sometimes male, sometimes female. And maybe you're psychic and starting to remembering some of these days, some of these lifetimes. And realize this is very profound. You don't have just lifetimes here. Maybe some of you, a lot of us, most of us, are stuck in reincarnation, stuck in cycles. And this is the second previous cycle. Look at these years. Okay? And then we got stuck all the way back here. This is where we started. But this got destroyed a few times, millions of years ago. This is the time where all the Atlanteans come in. Lemurians and Aryans started coming in. That was when the Stargates were available. So we had all these Stargates. These were consciousness coming in to see. These are all existing at once. All these time cycles. And you can access the past, you can say, from these Stargates. Stargates are portals. So this is part of your spirituality, guys. I just wanted to touch up on it. I thank you guys for being here on my live. Bato Locos, yeah! What's up? Wow, 33 viewers right now. That happens a lot here, man. Those little synchronies are beautiful, man. Yeah, baby. Yes. Isabel. Really? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Jess Esco, yep, energy has been definitely high. Yes. Thank you, Rachel, for being here, Holy One. All right. Yep. See, it's good to understand that they are multidimensional. That's why I try to stress it. Because it helps you understand and be aware of. Keep reminding yourself that, yeah, there's other higher realities. And the mechanics of these beings are coming through gates. And if you realize from the information, they have conquered and taken over the Egypt Stargate. So the Guardians used to be in control of that. And then, it goes back and forth, and we have lost gates, we've gained gates and lost another, or whatever. This is a spiritual war. The dark beings are just as powerful as us down here. And they use technology. I wouldn't say as powerful, because if you're bringing in Christ 12th dimensional and beyond, imagine when you get to density 2, everyone's going to be like super powerful X-Men and shit. Like superhumans. You're going to be a race of superhumans, and then out of those superheroes will be great giant heroes. Like they would call a superhero. Like they look at themselves as normal, but to us they're superheroes. And then they're looking at larger beings than them. So, like, we have animals and plants. Those are lower dimensional beings, but they're in our reality field. Because we have 1, 2, and 3 strand, at least. So you can see the other beings within the density below you and the density above you, normally. So we just have some problems. That's why we're mucking around down here. But imagine when you go to density 2, you're going to see like super hyper advanced beings. Like it's hard to explain. But they will be just so much more evolved than us. It will be like way beyond our ideas of science fiction. So I just wish there was more and there is really, but more multi-dimensional thinkers, more beings talking about the galactic, talking about the higher civilizations, the future civilizations, without the Anunnaki and reptilians and androids and AI. I mean, like, hey, let's just have some advanced societies without this mess, right? Think about it. If you were truly had technology and power in immortal life, and there's a great spiritual war between powerful dark beings and these other beings of light, you would want protection, technological protection and spiritual protection. Same thing here. We want technological protection and spiritual protection. We're not meant to give servitude to these alien dark beings. We are, if we have to use power to protect ourselves, we will. You know, you're gonna learn things like your Merkaba and how to move things with your mind and communicate, perceive. So one of the movies I really love very much is this movie called Lucy. She's also one of my favorite actresses, but this movie is profound to me because you go through this evolution in your consciousness, like similar, like it's kind of, it doesn't talk about spirit at all really, and that it gives you some cool like evolution of planets and consciousness, but nothing about spirit and God in there. But anyways, the movie itself just helps you visualize this. Like, you start to change and evolve very quickly. You will be superhuman, in so many different ways. And that's your evolution. That's your next leap. Your next ascension is going to be a leap in body, in consciousness, and energy. You're going to have more. You're going to be like a total different creature. And that's just like a fifth dimensional being. The fourth dimensional won't be as advanced, but you know, like what you call, what's that being that people saw, Sasquatch, like a Sasquatch. These beings are in fourth dimension. So they're a little bit farther ahead psychic wise, but they're very peaceful and they don't want to be interacting with humans. So they were actually moved to the fourth dimension. Something like this. It's very interesting because we hear about things like chupacabras. We hear about things like have to do with these aliens. And that our world is much more complex than you can possibly imagine. There's things underground that are freaking unbelievable, according to the whistleblowers in the space programs, secret ones. Well, dude, you have to stretch your mind. Are you one of the ones ready to go to galactic level? Are you ready for all these mysteries of the planet and what has happened with these beings? Are you ready? I am. You are. Some of you are. We don't need to stay in the same place of evolution. We don't need to be under the iron fist of some dark beings. You know, truly, if all of us on planet Earth went through a spiritual awakening, not just a small population of us, like a major event, well, there would those energies and beings would be dismissed. You would boot them off the planet, and it would all be done peacefully through consciousness. Kind of like just happening suddenly out of, you know. But there's a struggle. It seems like there's always some oppressor trying to stop that. So some of you are involved in that. You're part of that dark consciousness. That you think in those ways and you do those things to create this scenario. Not just in your own mind, but in reality, you're part of the ones. You could say there's a human collective and there's a shadow collective. and you have shadow thoughts like the other shadow beings, and so you guys have a collective consciousness of that shadow. That's kind of like how consciousness works anyways. Humans will be learning from each other. That's where that 100-monkey effect is. In those aspects of the collective, that's where this, like you introduce a virus to a computer, well, you would be introducing a total change of the system. That sounds like a virus, right? You're evolving. It's a good change, like a metamorphosis, like a caterpillar. This little creature eating leaf, and suddenly now it's flying and shit and pollinating. You will be a total different creature. You won't be pollinating, I don't think, but it's because one time she talked about how because there's still females, like you would say, there's still gender and density too, because remember you eventually became androgynous, but the women in density too. Well, they have babies outside the belly, the body. It becomes like a sac outside that grows and wow, so much better, right? So I think that's so cool, man. And it's total, like, so serious to have a baby in the future. In the future, it's a big sacred thing. They plan ahead like years, like, and it's like incredible, right? So I can't wait to go back, man. Some of us are old souls. We need to like get some cleansing done and healing. But like, we've been in the trenches. We need to refresh or something. To me, death is not totally unnatural. It's sickness, diseases. It's stupid that our consciousness has not evolved enough to heal ourselves completely. We should be completely healed of diseases, to sleep. Sorry guys, there's something going on with my connection, I guess. We don't need to sleep. You don't need to, do those disgusting biological stuff. Women don't have to give birth. Like, this movie Jupiter Rising. These guys are vampires. They can live forever, but they have to keep consuming the shit. No, you don't. You know what that sounds like I can't say that keyword. But you guys know what I talk about. That little powdery substance they take from, yeah. Well, isn't that what that movie's like? These beings living forever, as long as they keep taking this shit. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, but I'm like, that's one of the things that's just horrible, right? One of the horrible things on this planet. It all comes from the draconians coming in from the underground and doing this dark, wicked stuff, coming to the service just to get humans for their dark stuff underground. We don't even think those ways, but these beings do, and they use that to trick you and manipulate you. They put you in fear and all this. They're masters at this. That's how they survive. They're vampires. They must be criminals. They must steal because they're vampiric consciousness. They're phantom beings. Some of them are phantom consciousness coming into a human-alien hybrid. They're imprisoned in the phantom, but they manage to get hybrids of themselves so they can now incarnate from phantom. So like some of these beings are in Phantom Avion. There's Phantom Gaia, Phantom Earth, Phantom Arcturus, Phantom Alcyon. Fallen beings. Beings who fell in those races. You fall with these wonderful demons and fallen angelics and shit. It's like you did a first time crime. and you get put in jail with some really true hardcore criminals, you feel like, oh shit. They got all the tattoos and are all acting tough and shit. You'll see fights every now and then. You know, they're in their sandals and their flip-flops and shit. Because, you know, it's... Whoa, David, you were in jail? Dude, I was a teenager once. I did stupid shit. I mean, we all did stupid stuff, right? You're an angel. If you are, I'm sorry. You're perfect. I'm sorry. Yeah. I definitely had one of those crazy teenage life. Because we're psychic, or we don't know we're psychic, but we're very emotional, we're very sensitive. You can say we have some of the indigos. I didn't have ADHD, but I was definitely sensitive. Not to a fault, but well, sort of, because I was way too emotional with girls. So, I mean, I got emotional over girls. So I was like, it sucked being a teenager, dude. And then, you know, I mentioned my first love. She broke up with me, so that sucked. And and then I guess that kind of ruined my high school years, because my high school years I couldn't get over her, so I was having just like, you would get attached to a girl too easy and fall in love already and tell her that. And the girls freak out, you know. Well, of course, that's not normal, that's not healthy, that's not good. But some of us are like indigos, we're like so out of place, right? But we're trying to fit in and we don't know how. Excuse me. There wasn't like an indigo manual back then. I didn't have any reference point back in the 70s, 80s. I was born in the 70s, lived in the 80s and 90s, grew up, I mean. And so, yeah, life was different. I grew up with like 80s music too. Oh my gosh, that's why I was so happy when something like hip hop came, or, you know, not rap per se, but like just cool, better dance music, man. Something that just wasn't just some people talking fast and stuff and rhyming, you know. And I wasn't really hard into rock. I was in some electronic shit. I was into Tangerine Dream and Deep Forest and Enigma, and damn, that shit rocked to me, and that never got old. You could listen to Enigma, all the different CDs, and I never got tired of it. But come on, Tangerine Dream, Kitaro. Oh my gosh, where did this conversation go? I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. But anyways, yeah, I grew up with Boy George, Madonna, and Cyndi Lauper, man, and Michael Jackson. That's what I grew up with. Kenny Rogers and shit. Hey, man, that's when Willie Nelson was cool, and he's still cool. He's a cool guy. But we have, like, you know, different girls in high school. They did their hair like, what the hell, man? They got this Aquanet, man. Everybody had Aquanet. I don't know, Aquanet, man. Just the smell of Aquanet. Oh my gosh! And they poof their hair and. And I was wearing those parachute pants with zippers everywhere, and got a ghetto blaster with my Vato friends, and we would be doing back spins and hand spins, knee spins, doing the centipede, doing the windmill. That's the 80s, baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think I was in love with, well, I thought she was pretty. That's how Barbara's, or what's her name? Who's the Blue Lagoon girl? Brooke Shields. So I like the girl from Gilligan's Island, and I would watch the stupid Gilligan's Island. Happy Days, Brady Bunch. 8 is enough, man. Yeah, 8 is enough. Damn. But, you know, different strokes and gosh, are you kidding me? So we have this memory of even this lifetime. In this lifetime, you had many like human experiences that went into your DNA. As a spiritual being, your consciousness, this is a hologram. This is how the hologram works. Your experience is being projected by your previous lifetime's thoughts. Wow, that's nice. Or not, you know, maybe it's the average of all your other selves. You have other selves. Wow. So you're like you would say composite. You're like a composite consciousness. You're made of many, but you're only aware of one window of life. But you're many. You will remember. You will awaken your DNA. It's supposed to happen. It will happen eventually. Hopefully you don't fall to God. Hopefully you expand to God. Because you can return to God that way. Land of the Lost. Jez in the house. Oh, World of Warcraft is that what you meant by WoW? Rachel. Alf? Oh yeah, Mork and Mindy. Alf, the greatest hero, or greatest American hero. See? I'm not the only one. Yeah, you're never alone, sister. Different strokes for different folks. Duran Duran, Chicago, Beach Boys. I don't know, dude. I was just into like new age music. It was so gay if I think about it now, but not gay because it's cool, right? I liked the electronic music and I wanted to like make my own and stuff. Jess remembers. Jenny Medley. What's up, Jenny? Oh yeah, and like, you know, the movies that I liked was like Ghoulies and not Ghoulies, Goonies. There was a Ghoulies, Goonies, and what's that one where the kid is reading a book and the Never-Ending Story. And then I watched Labyrinth and I loved Legend. And I even, you know, because it has a unicorn, it has magic in it, it has the darkness and the light, and it has a princess in it. It was a cool movie. Yeah, they did really good with Tim Curry. So I remember at the end of the movie when he's about to die, he goes, "What is darkness without light?" Or what is light without darkness? What did I say? I said it backwards. What is light without darkness? Because people are trying to see it that way. They're trying to see from a physics thing. Like, okay, you wouldn't see light without some shadow, without some depth of darkness. And then you wouldn't see darkness, huh? If you were completely dark, you wouldn't see each other. You know, that kind of shit, man, that's not what it's about. It's about your consciousness, not some appearance of something. It's what your polarity, your vibration, oscillation, level of vibe, frequency. It can go from here to here, and then it can keep falling. Oh, maybe you had a good day and a good mood, and you had some sex or some delicious ice cream, but then you get in an argument, and then you see some bad news, and then you watch a sad movie. Whoa. Most people are not mindful. Be in the now, and that doesn't happen. Because, see, consciousness likes to wander. It likes to drift. Like driftwood is like something on the... It's just moving because there's some motion, something. You know, you don't want to drift. You're a conscious being. You're not meant to just drift. You're meant to be here. Can you go into stillness? Is it possible for you to go into stillness, Holy One? Become a master of consciousness. It means to stay still and observe it. Take command of it, you would say. Consciousness, you would say self-controlling consciousness. You could say directing, self-directing consciousness. Not a drifting. Think about it. Most people are just drifting in their thoughts. Like they got listening to music, they're watching a device or a movie. They're just in senses and in routine and drifting in their mind. Like their mind is being taken, their attention is being taken, their focus is being taken. Instead of here. Here. There is no time. There is no space. You're here. Here. Your hologram is here. You are here now. Feel now. Here. I am. I am. What is your drama? What is your story? What is your life? You're here. See. Take control. Self-directing control of your thoughts sometimes. Don't just be driftwood. Here, I am self-controlling being. I have inner will. You could say spiritual will. I have spiritual will. Know what your spiritual will is. Know that you have drifting thoughts. Start to manage these thoughts. It's an inner alchemy. You guys will become better and better at it. So you want to have a self-directing consciousness, not drifting, distracting, here, there, drunk, high, confused, here, there, down there. No, stop. That's more than grounding. It's not just grounding. You're here in the now with your awareness. You have taken control of a drifting consciousness. Is that a conscious being? That is a drifting conscious being. Drifting. Circumstances, other forces, other consciousness is moving around this being. Being is drifting from that other movement, other beings' movements. You're being maybe even canaled by someone else's moment, awareness. Okay? You don't even believe in magic, but it's there. There's beings using it. Okay? You don't have to believe. Some people are going in here and being in control of like their sleep, their dreams. I'm conscious, I'm aware in my dream. I can feel myself and pop out of my body. Go to, travel somewhere while my body rests. Mindfully, consciously, in the now, not drifting, not routine, not devices, not movies, not music, not conversation. Here. You are here. Get used to being here. Get used to directing your own thoughts. Okay? You know, as soon as you get in a conversation, your mind shifts from here. Now you're involved in this motion. Now you're forgot the now. Maybe you're disciplined though. Maybe you can quickly return to the now, to the self-directing mind, which, when you go on this exploration, you will discover that this now, it's benefited by start making some intentions. Now that you're going into the now, start making intentions. Write them down. Think about them. Plan them out in your mind. So when you go to the now you're with life force. Now you're with your spiritual will. You're not in a drifting state. There's beings in this world who have mastery over this conscious process. And here we are, just a bunch of mumbling, bumbling, drifting, you think multitasking is impressive or something. You're out there in fragments, pieces, here, there. You're not here. Are you doing meditation? Are you doing breath work? Are you doing this conscious work? I call it like spending like a half hour or an hour of my day in the now, thinking about my spiritual intention, my spiritual will, doing manifestation techniques in the now, in your self-directing awareness. This is part of spiritual awakening. Becoming a self-directing, self-reliant, super conscious being who's fasting, who's trying it, who's trying to change eating habits, thinking habits, beliefs, you know, how they run their emotions, how you run your thoughts and ideas. You're becoming very mindful of those things. You're becoming very thoughtful and directed, inner direction. You go inside, you guys. You're connected to God. You are God. Go inside and realize it. Go inside, go inside, go inside. Be in self-directing control of your inside. Machiwa. I love you guys. You're awesome. Okaya. Thank you. Candace. Candace gets the point. Crystal Vibe. Vivian Mack. Wow, look at that. There's some energy in that name. How you doing? Come on, Vatos. What's up, Sweet Leaf? Christ consciousness, man. Yeah. These people talking about 5D or 7 chakra. Well, aim higher, right? Go for the Christ ray, the Maharata ray, the 12D consciousness. Machiwa. I'm blessed you're here, Holy Ones. I'm blessed by all of you guys. You're part of this energy. And think about this. This live will go on. It will still get more live. It actually gets more views later, you know, after the live. But you guys, they will be reading all your comments. You know, that's public. And so you're part of it. Don't you get it? What you guys are sharing, your stories, your emotions, and your points of view. So you're part of this. So thank you for being part of it, you guys. Thank you. And I notice how you guys are kind to each other. You even help answer each other's questions. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. It's a great honor to be here. And as our sister said, she feels blessed. I feel blessed. I feel like, man. But part of this is realizing your higher identities, that you are these higher blessed selves. These, like, one dimension. is a huge upgrade. So even one higher level of yourself, you can learn so much by connecting to it. While I'm connecting to my 4D, my 4D self is probably trying to connect to 5D, 6D, and 7D. We're trying to connect to, that's our identity. We are multidimensional consciousness, multidimensional identities. We have to get used to that idea. And the other thing is, which you may not realize now, is you'll eventually be perceiving multiple consciousness at once. Multiple, I'm not talking about your other incarnations. Like, the only way I can try to pass on the feeling is, imagine that you had suddenly, a copy of you. Don't call it a clone, like a lesser version, but like an identical version. And think that you have like we were talking about the 80s. One of the movies from the 80s was called Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. And he had 4 clones. And so each one, they all live together. So they're doing stuff together. Him and his 4 other selves or whatever. Well, think of the same thing as you, but you have 1,000 of other selves. Some of them are girls and guys. Girls, guys. Some of them are other beings. Some of them speak different languages. Some of them have different appearances. You guys, if you're thinking you're always looking the same, no. How could that be? You have 2 totally different parents. Every time. Every single time, you have different genetics. It's not the same humans from the same lifetime. It's another lifetime, different parents, a different race, probably, a different country maybe, a different religion, a different background. So it's silly, okay? Aim higher, look farther. You are grand. Give yourself some credit. You're like, even if you connected to like a few of yourselves, that would help you, right? What if you had 3 people in the house like Michael Keaton in Multiplicity? You had a few homies that you could psychically, telepathically connect to. They were you, not some other external alien or something, but you. But even if it was you, you would still look at it as different, right? Like maybe a tiny bit of suspicion. Is my other self loving like me? Can I trust my other self? Well, some of your thoughts are your other self's thoughts. Some of you think of yourself as empathic. Well, sometimes you're empathic with your own self. Deep. You feeling some of your other selves. So, future, past, adjacent. You are part of a parallel, you got some shadow in the phantom. Your end game, your avatar's end game is to make all of it Christos. Because you're at war with yourself, sort of, you could say. The avatar identity, way up there. Is that my battery? Is my battery just died? I think it died, guys. Let me switch it out right now. Maybe it didn't die, but I thought I heard it make that noise. No problem. Yeah, this is interesting because it part of this spiritual awareness and awakening is expanding your identity. So expanding your understanding of your own identity. Exploring your own identity. Your multi-dimensional identity. You are a multi-dimensional being, and some of them are male, some are female, some of them are different races. Some of them are good, light, law of one. Some of them are anti-Christos, against the law of one. So think about it. If one of those dark selves of you became aware of your you self or other selves, they could even vampire some of you. Why wouldn't they? You have some siblings that hate you or fight with you. Your other selves could hate you and want to just use you. It's always about the self on the dark side. Me, I'm only considerate of me. I only think of me. That's what those people do. They're it's like there's no honor among thieves. There's no honor among these people who are all selfish. If they're all selfish and all want, and that person wants and you want and they want, there's gonna be some dishonor among thieves. you know, right? So you don't want to hang out with selfish people. Why? Those are vampires. At the hardcore, they're about extraction. They want to take. That's their, it doesn't mean they're damned. We love them. We don't judge them. We learn about them so we can protect ourselves. How can you protect yourself from something if you don't know it's even coming your way? You don't know it exists. Someone else knows that loves you. Hello. The guardians love you. They came back so much because they love you. Because you're part of them. They're multidimensional. They know all this stuff. And they know that parts of themselves, us, down here, may be suffering, hurting, harming. They know. Like us, we're trying. We're trying to perceive them. I can see them. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, that time, yeah. Wow, that time, yes. Where are you? I can't see. Up there? There's no problems. They see you vividly, clearly, crystal clear. No problems, honey. They see you like in IMAX, like perfect vision. You're like, I don't see nothing. Where's my third eye? I don't see shit. So these beings are on another level, okay? I mean, it's not like they can just watch you and control you and change your life. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they have better perceptions than we do. There are higher advanced reality fields. There's higher current running there. We're getting 1, 2, 3 current. They're getting 4, 5, 6 current. Okay? Now we can get stuff from into our chakra, into our meditation, but they breathe there. That's their current. That's their consciousness level. There's no comparison. That's why we have guardians who guard against the bullies, the creator gods, the fallen angelics, the dark ones. Someone has to, because otherwise you'll just be wiped out like other planets and races that have already been wiped out. You're just very valuable. Earth is very valuable because of some things that we have, Machiwa. Candace is a spirit ninja. Some people would call that, what do they call it? What's that? Hayoki. Hoko. There's like a special type of, like a joust, a jester, like a trickster spirit, not a trickster. Someone who off balances you so you can become balanced. What's that word called? It's like a native thing. Heyoka! Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of, Bright Flame. Thank you, Holy One. Spirit Ninja. You guys, as a teenager, man, I loved to dress up like ninja. Me and my friends made some ninja movies with VHS. We'd have to pause and push record and do another scene, push pause and do record, And we all dressed up like ninjas, and we could make ourselves look like we teleported and did fight scenes and like, dude, I love ninjas. Maybe I was a ninja in another life. I used to channel ninja when I was doing that crap. Yeah, protect your brain. So is that what he said? Protect your brain? Well, actually, you could help alleviate your nightmares at right before you go to bed. Once again, you guys, intention is amazing. Start putting intention in everything you want to do. Start putting intentions. You're like a little magical being. Hey, what do you think the Magi Holy Grail is? It's magical beings. There's good magic. You don't have to practice magic or good magic, bad magic. It's not part of spirituality, but some beings are watching those gates. Understand? It's a spiritual warfare. There's a lot to learn. All right, you guys. Yeah. So this is a spirituality, awakening, ascension, and the multiverse. Now I showed you guys the diagram, right? So you can understand the history and the structure to understand what is multidimensional beings. You can still call them extraterrestrial, but they're multidimensional extraterrestrial. They're beings from higher reality fields, not just on the same playing field. But they downstep. Every time a being goes through a gate, they're going to downstep your consciousness or their technology. You realize fifth dimensional being comes into a third dimensional reality field. It's got to go through a process of downstep, of fragmentation. But you go through back up the densities, it's in your DNA, you retreat, you go back to the higher form. Just like there's only so much energy that a planet, that planet Earth can handle. You can't just put, like eighth dimensional activated being inside of 3D. That's dangerous, and that's going to cause some problems. In the ancient Egyptian, they had the Ankh, which was a fifth dimensional power. I mean, it was incorporated into their building the pyramids. And so this was just one dimension higher, well, 2 dimensions higher. And that was a super powerful relic in those times. And this is real history. This thing with some of the Bible stories were simply kind of like accurate, but sort of some details not included. Like, this was actually relics of power in those days. It was actually removed from humans. Same with the giant crystals. We once had these giant crystals that were put into Earth because they didn't come from Earth, baby. They came from Sirius B. These are huge crystal, you would say, as sizes of a skyscraper building. They were that big, and so big, right? They were able to live inside of them. The guardians were guarding them, living inside these things. So there's been what you call wars down there, okay, over these things, and they have taken us over before. They've made it inside those crystal cities before, and we had to destroy it. So think about that one. Guardians made the decision to self-destruct before allowing the beings to take over those crystal cities. Think about that one. Are we supposed to do that? Would you sacrifice if you had to? I mean, that's kind of getting into a touchy subject, but they were not going to allow these beings to come in, so they destroyed it. This is the Temple Wars. The Temple Wars. And it's before humans came along, so it's ancient. But we learned some of it because it's from our heritage, because we come from those races. And so I would rather know the truth. I would rather know about Atlantis and Lemuria, and then if you want your science to say it doesn't exist, okay. Some of us remember. It's a record. It's a movie playing in our head. We don't need others to believe, actually, but we hope you do, because it's part of your awakening process, part of your spirituality and spiritual awakening and ascension. I mean, because think about it, it's something enables you to go to a higher reality. Something does. Well, that something is spiritual awakening and ascension. You're going to awaken to spiritual realities and the spiritual drama and your spiritual identity. Now life has a different meaning, a different path. Now it's just not getting old, going to school and getting married and having kids and stuff. There's more now. More on the plate of human drama. It's about extraterrestrials. It's about other dimensions of reality. It's about a total different history. It's about, wow. So this is pretty amazing, guys. And just so you know, that information, there's tomes, volumes. You won't run out of time of studying this information because there's a lifetime of work out there. Now, some of it's advanced mechanics. You actually got to learn and study. You don't have to learn all those years. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it involves understanding. It's not like, instantaneous knowledge that you're just going to become a super awakened psychic master or some shit. Because think about it, you're going to learn stuff that your body's not even going to be comfortable at all doing. I mean, it took me a long time to learn how to sit in a meditative position like the pros do. Like I was able to do full lotus, but to get to that, it wasn't overnight. You have to go through physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, I said that, lessons across the board. And many of them, like, you're going to go through different paradigm shifts. And most of us are on a path of truth. I was listening to Alex Jones, for a long time, because at the time, that was my level of awareness. It wasn't into the Christos and into the spirits and all that, and I wasn't experiencing those things. But later, after I started going beyond, because I wasn't satisfied with that, that's not all. There was still something missing even from that. I got out of that political stuff and went into the spiritual and started learning total different topics that my normal life wasn't. I was into working out and into sports and into girls and traveling. This is what I was before. I'm nothing like that now. Not even remotely close. And I remember my mind. I remember what I was unaware of. We all have you would say, a different version of ourselves. We all have a beginning version of ourselves. Or maybe some of you got worse, because that happens on the planet. Some people get worse instead of getting better. Life experience, it's supposed to teach you something. If this is a hologram, it's like a simulator. You on Earth, you make simulators for what? To simulate something, to teach you something. Or experience something. It's got a purpose. Well, life has a purpose. You didn't come here to be neutral. You didn't come here to do nothing. You came here to evolve your spirit, to evolve your body, emotion, mind, and spirit. Some of you will want to be neutral, okay? Or whatever. You think it's about being neutral. You don't see the spiritual dynamics down here then. Understand, Creator, the Ascended Masters, made this polarized. Well, it is polarized. Particle, antiparticle, you got magnetism, electricity. You have polarization here. You're going to experience, you come in here as consciousness, you're going to experience polarity. But that's kind of like a challenge to spirit to learn how to become back to a non-polarized state, which is Law 1. Unity. not separate from God. You are not separate from God. It's impossible to be separate from Creator. Even if you've forgotten Creator, even if you forgot where you came from or what you are, it didn't change anything. You're just not connecting to that now. And then generations go by, and then your people don't remember anymore. Now your civilization doesn't remember anymore that you used to be immortal. That sounds ridiculous. We can't imagine immortality. It's not. I wouldn't even want to live forever. Of course. You don't have the biology, the consciousness to go with that. So of course you're in suffering in hell. It's not so fun down here. Well, some people will find happiness here, while others are suffering. You see that, right? There's darkness, there's shadow, there's suffering. It's not the optimal place to come and have a great time. That was the original intention of Source God. God's original intention is love. God does have a preference, right? So we would like to connect to that original intention. You want to be a rebel and go be bad and cast spells? Okay. Remember, that's the path of chaos. I'm not going to descend. I'm going to live forever. Okay. I love you, holy ones. I know some of you want to heal, and we have to be more sensitive to that. And just realize that you have you're God, and you just have more challenge. It doesn't mean you're damned or you have to keep being dark. It doesn't mean you have to keep on being toxic. And maybe you are working at change. But honestly, you do have to do techniques that change your circumstance. I know some of you are busy and you don't have time to meditate or eat differently. When I say diet, I don't mean to lose weight. We say diet as in spiritual diet, energy diet, something that is a change. Because you know your current energy and lifestyle is not working, right? You want to make a change. Wow, that doesn't sound like fun. Spirituality sucks. Oh. Yes, you have to go through this because it's some horrible things you did. We did. You know, can you imagine? We lived in some of these pretty horrible type of people in Atlantis. We were very dark. A lot of our darkness is coming from those periods. There was a lot of demonic activity in Atlantis. They had portals open. There was shit coming in and out, left and right. And they called it the boogies. You know, you go boogie dancing, go boogie dancing. Like dancing with Casper and shit. There's lots of ghosts and spirits and two-dimensional entity beings there. Because they had that gate open. So it was like they actually called it boogie bouncing, like bounce out the boogies, get them out, exercise, you know. They had a lot of stuff, and we were in those. You guys live there. That's our third strand. That's our third strand. We're Aryans, but we're supposed to be doing this strand as a race. The hell? This entire show. There. Now remember, it's bleed through from Atlantis. We have bleed through from Lemuria. You can have past life memories, but they can have memories of you. You're psychic, probably more psychic over there. We're in like a dark age in this lifetime. In these lifetimes, we've been conquered a little bit. We've been disempowered. So I'm sure some of those past lives, we were more powerful. And don't forget that in Atlantis, We were space age. We had extraterrestrials because they were coming through. There was no problems back then in that period. That wasn't always a good thing because, you know, you get a lot of influence from other races, but that's when the Anunnaki were coming in. Now it's all about the reptilians, but it was mostly about the Anunnaki. Of course, you had the other races, but no, we always make the disclaimer, we're not saying all Anunnaki are bad, okay, because there's good ones. We're not talking about the good ones because they're nice. We're talking about the bad ones who are not nice, okay? So, now, these beings are like, wow. Started 50,000 years ago and before in seeding 2 and seeding 1. The Dracos were in seeding 2, so but it's, you know, been different in seeding 3. But this is a freaking huge drama, guys. And if you know that what an indigo child is, we're coming in at different periods of history and helping the human race. We've been in all these crazy dramas. Maybe you lived in those Celtic days, those Druidic days. Maybe you're a Grail line in another country. There's several different Grail lines, Holy Grail lines, that we came in. See, while other humans are sitting here building their DNA, like I showed you in that diagram, they're trying to have 144 lifetimes in density 1 and beyond. Well, you're indigo. You've already have that in your DNA. You're not getting that DNA because you have it. Think about it. You have a complete, let's say almost complete, whatever. You have a whole 4-strand and the human doesn't. What does that make you? We got some different people. Literally. Biological, emotional, mental, spiritual. They're different levels. Different levels of consciousness on the same earth. We have some slow beings and some fast beings, you know. We have different kinds of consciousness. But the higher evolved ones are a minority, a much smaller population. There's only a certain amount. That's why there's contracts involved. It's very controlled, organized. It's not like accident that you're here, indigo child. You're actually under covenant. And most of the blue flames are coming with the emerald covenant. We have the gold flame, holy seraphite races coming in to help the earth drama, and also the violet flame avatars. Actually, most of the darkness is coming from the blue flame and the gold flame. The fallen angelics are coming from here and there. But there is, of course, some problems in the violet flame, but it's mostly about the blue flame and gold flame. Like, we can name them. You can't name... There's not many races you can name that are fallen violet flame races. There's a few, but not many. It's mostly between Elohai, Elohim, and Seraphim. And of course we got a bunch of hybrids. A bunch of people on both sides, I'm saying. Like the Anudraku races. That are part Anunnaki, part Draconian. That's like 2 gangsters, dude. That's like a Hitler, half Stalin, or whatever example you want to give. Like 2 master dark beings in one. That's what these freaking Anu Draco hybrids on Nibiru are. I don't like to say that because that's a key word that YouTube doesn't like, so you can say Planet 9. It's not Planet 9, but whatever. There's more, you know, there was Maldak. There was another planet that was destroyed. Even the Guardians talk about Maldak. That's what the asteroid belt is. There was another planet there. And you got Nibiru. Okay, so how many planets now? Machiwa. some of the stuff has gotten through the cracks, right? We've heard about Planet X before, but you get a different story from NASA. So I would prefer, oh, you're just into conspiracy theories. Man, some people have so much growth to, lessons to learn. It's going to be challenging for them. Everyone else is done with the test, and they're one of those students really struggling. I am so Israel. I am sin Israel. I don't know if that was a typo. Vivian Mack, welcome, Holy One. Sweet Leaf Machiwa. How you doing, vatos? Witchcraft and vampirism, that isn't a good sign, right? The word vampire, sucking and drinking on the consuming. Witchcraft, you could say there's some white witches, but come on, dude. Listen, it's very simply explained from Christos. If you're talking about planets and attaching gods to them and using the powers of this system, you're talking about gods. There's already something wrong. But this is your belief. I love you. We don't judge you. You're welcome here like everyone else. See, Makaya. Isn't that what astrology is? They talk about the planets and the alignments that you make with these gods and planets. What you're supposed to do. There's no middleman. You don't need a middleman to God, to Christ consciousness. No priest, no master, no Lord. Wow. It's two different agendas, honey. Machiwa. You see, one says all are God, one says no. You have to earn, you have to do this, you have to get that, you have to do 1, 2, 3. You have to have fear, you have to fear God. You're told to fear God. Fear God. I'm a God-fearing. You have to have guilt. You did something horrible. We explained the original sin. Okay? When they blew up a planet, when Vader took Leia and says, "Watch this." Blow up a whole planet. Wow. You thought that dictator was dark. Shimata. So, they're competing. How many have you killed this recently, this week, today? Wow, Isabel, yeah. Those are custom emojis. I need to make more emojis, dear. I will, I promise. I'm sorry. Starman's in the house? Where's Starman? That's right, he has a different name on YouTube, right? Oh, Tim Burns is Starman. Yes! What's up, Holy Vato? Good to see you. It is 8:20 though, I'll be stopping soon. Machiwa! Yeah, I usually go, you guys, about 8:30, around 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. Wow. I didn't know that, Holy One. But, I appreciate that. I've heard other people being kicked off of her Patreon. That's interesting. East Coast 11:20. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm usually like finishing up like what you call trying to like barely start to get ready to go to bed, but sort of. I usually like to eat or not or fast. It just depends. It just depends on how I feel. Sometimes I feel hungry. Sometimes it's no problem. I mean, if I was more disciplined, but it's like I'm one of those workaholics kind of like people. So you can give me advice, but I just want to keep working. I just want to keep working. I don't care, you know. I'm gonna be like that. I was an entrepreneur for a decade, and I had that principle in my life for a long time. You have to be disciplined. You have to be responsible. You have to have these hours. You have to have these schedule. You have to do this. You have to do that. I was doing all that, you guys. Just that I'm not saying that's not important. What I'm saying is I had to make changes in my spirit. I had to stop selling weapons. You know, it's just, I don't mean guns, I mean like knives and swords, which was mostly like utility, but I didn't feel good about it. And you guys will change your beliefs in your old rituals because it drives you. You make decisions based on that. You're like, wow, man. Maybe I'm not interested in Thoth anymore. You know, like channeling Thoth, like worshiping Thoth or doing Thothian magic. Enochian magic. We learned about Enoch. You know about King Solomon. You know about Moses. You know about these supposed sacred holy people. You learn a whole different story from the Guardian. You don't call it a story, it's a history. You learn what they represent and what they say. You can see what they represent. It's in writing. They represent what they're showing you. So we look at and represent the law of one. You see what they represent and you decide. In your life now in 2022, in October or November, in November 2022, what are you? Are you a guardian law of one person? Or are you this, no, it's about this one God. It's about, no, not all are God. No. Are you this kind? Right now, October 2022, are you law of one? Or no, you're not sure. I still believe in Jehovah. I still believe in Thoth. I still believe in Odin. I still follow and worship Isis. I still follow, this God. I give credence to that God. I have visions of that God. That God communicates to me. I was once that God. I am this God. Well, okay. Your God is probably from the 5th dimension, maybe 6th. Actual God doesn't even, you would say, it goes beyond this definition. And no disrespect if you love Egyptian gods. I did too, homie. I was there right along with you. I made mistakes and I went through some shadow work. I'm actually surprised I let go of a lot of that shit. I had anger. I was messed up in some of my thoughts. Imagine an indigo becoming dark. They're probably pretty freaking dark. Especially when that ego is running it. I had to let go of the occult, let go of those dark things. Because people get involved in casting spells at you You want to cast a spell. Like you're being good by casting a spell too, because you represent light and but you're still casting spells on people. Your free will, honey. Just realize what we describe here on Christos Avatar, those dark shit. Look at my demon videos and fallen angel videos. If check those beings out. Those are what you're getting involved with, and they can impulse your emotional body. They can impulse your emotional body and your mental body if you're in their Templar, if you're part of that family tree. Remember, they see you very clearly. Because just like you can see animals and plants very clearly, they're two-dimensional. Not like spacious. They're from the second dimension of reality. Realize that's where they're being projected from. We're all different levels of projection. So you get a ghost projection when they're higher than you, and when you get a real, like a rock, to a one-dimensional being, right? This is very different consciousness. A rock. You go outside, grab some rock on the ground, look at it. Wow, man, that's one-dimensional consciousness. You pet your kitty, your doggy. That's two-dimensional consciousness. Consciousness. Remember, you're not the flesh, you're the consciousness. A rock has consciousness, a plastic has consciousness. Because I say that because people say plastic's not alive. Honey, you don't understand consciousness. When the entire hologram is what? Being projected by ascended master consciousness. An ultra micro particle is being projected by an ascended master. Think about that. What scientists think is the quark. Well, just imagine a quark is being manifest by an ascended master. I bet you these beings are manifesting more than one at once. So everything in these fields, the hollow fields themselves, like every dimensional hollow field, is being projected by consciousness. So everything that is within that hologram field is alive. No exception. A speck of dust is God. Is some ascended master projecting the particles. So the particles come together into larger frameworks of reality, right? And so, but the base level, the ultra micro particle level, is alive, made of holographic consciousness. It's consciousness in a holographic field, projecting it, creating it from the ground up, baby. From imagine a house. The screw, the nail was alive. The piece of lumber, plywood is alive. The paint is alive. The concrete is alive. You think it's not alive, but it doesn't have a soul. You see the problem. You have to see all as consciousness. Then it's easier to understand what is God, because you see God everywhere. You look. You see this little human drama. It's just a holographic story movie, because you're sitting in a hologram. I mean, outside the hologram, eternal gestalt of consciousness, just no problems. Just kind of like throw some of your consciousness in a hologram field network, and it starts like, I put this, when I started this mushroom project, I needed the spores. The little spores went into this grain, and then the grain started creating consciousness and creating and growing, and then you put that inside substrate, like usually manure, because that's what mushrooms grow out of, and then you then it's becoming different organisms and little bacteria, and it's growing into, it starts, what the hell? This is consciousness. It's all alive. Everything, the dirt, the little tiny, the real big. It's all alive. It's a trip, man. Wow. My thumb is, I'm God. This is what? It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God, man. You can't say that person's not God. You can't say that demon is not God, because it's all in the hologram. It's even the little particles that make up the little quarks that make up the little, electrons that make the atom, and then the atom makes these molecules, and you got these chemical chains, and those are all started off as little godlets, little conscious aspects of God. So everything in the toolkit was already God. All of the material, all of the design, it's alive. So you can trip out on you're made of a trillions of little cells, cell. So they're alive. You're made up of little creature beings that are awake and living their evolution. They're on a spiritual journey. You got trillions of little spiritual journeys going on in your biology. Thank you, Alviso Josie 15. Thank you, Holy One. Look at those positive vibes. Yes. Thank you, Holy One. Much respect for you for supporting Christos Avatar. The roaches, the turd in your toilet, sorry, but yeah, disgusting stuff. It's that maybe it's not a great vibration to hang around because it's become, out of all of this distortion, it's been distorted. It's not the original beautiful artwork that it once was. It's been tainted and rusted and, cobwebs and scratches and dents, and it might break and fall down. It's places like that where you want to take your consciousness, you guys. And some other things you could do is see yourself as super small. Like I don't know, like let's say I was real small, little guy. And I was walking, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna run. But I'm so small. What does that look like up close and go deep? And then if you're really small, standing right here, well, look at your little small shoe. Well, that shoe is made of lots of atoms that are alive. You have to go journey. You say you're wasting your time in daydreaming. No, understand this is consciousness. This is you being able to see realities, see living energies, communicate with God, communicate with your surroundings, communicate with humans, communicate with angels, communicate with all, because it's all alive. Some people who can perceive their pets' thoughts. Not just one person. Many people say they speak in your language. How is that working? Well, obviously there's some translation happening. These animals have things to say to us, actually. So I believe it's just, remember, that's in your DNA. Animal life, plant life is in your DNA. You have a 2-strand. You were in the second dimension. You probably were a rock. We became something else. So It's kind of like science and spirit is evolving together. You know, the body forms are evolving while the consciousness is evolving. While the, you know, it's like not like exactly like evolution that we learn in history, but more like, you know, this highest levels coming down, and then that same consciousness can reclaim and come back up. Like as you ascend, you're pulling in your other consciousness. Those are conglomerating. You're kind of like becoming a larger entity. Well, that is 12 of you. They call it a 12 tribe, right? 12 of your lifetimes. 6 girls, 6 boys. 12 of your lifetimes makes up one soul. So one soul will project into density 1 in 12 lifetimes simultaneous. From each one of those simultaneous incarnations, they will believe they're the only one. They're cut off. The soul is not cut off. Your soul sees all of you. You see this. Until you develop your soul, your heart, that's the soul level. The astral is the beginning of the soul level. And then you're going to evolve into the oversoul, which 12 of your souls, 12 of your incarnates make one soul. 12 of your souls make one oversoul. 12 oversouls make your avatar. 12 avatars make your rishi. And 12 rishi make one. I showed you on a diagram. It's called a geomantic entity. So, and 12 of those make the next level, and then the next level is only one. There's one. So, this is an incredible, complex identity, but this is you. You eventually will, every level you reach, you will know more of yourself. You will know more of God. And if some of you have been going very far, like let's say mushroom, it's taking you very far into higher dimensions, well, that means if you're able to go there, that means you have those DNA. You have that DNA available to you. That's within you now. You're just going to learn how to awaken it. Like some of you ask me these deep questions about yourself. Well, those answers, Holy One, are within you. You are your own master, your own avatar, aren't you? You're your own ascended master. And you're going to learn through consciousness and awakening, develop your ascension and explore all these parts. So, it's an exciting journey. And I thank you guys for being here on my live tonight. Sorry it went so long, but sometimes that happens. But thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you to all my members who are my members, who became one of the Christos Family members. Thank you guys so much for being part of the team. Thank you for supporting Christos Avatar. And you're helping your brother out, and you're helping this message get out. And thank you for those on Patreon and YouTube memberships. And I'll do more lives. Come again. I will announce, if you're on my Facebook or on my Instagram, I will notify you when I go live somewhere else. Like, so hang out, find out my Instagram at least, and then you'll be notified. So peace to you guys. Wait, sorry. There we go. And thanks again to my moderator Isabel and Leo. You guys are awesome. It would be very difficult, impossible for me to do this without you. And one day this will be more professional and bigger, obviously. So we'll do our best to accommodate this change and offer a better community for you guys. Come again, you guys. So happy to see you. Love yourself. Love others. Shine your light. Your light. Be light then. Don't just give lip service to it. Actually do it. Be light. Transmute dark when you can. It's nothing violent. It's all peaceful through awakening. We do it inside. Chikima. Mokoye. Havasta. A member there, Holy One. Shining light. Yes, right. That's a good bumper sticker. Alchemize the shiz. All right. God bless to you. Find your divinity within. Love and peace to you. No worries. Yeah. We stick together. We don't leave nobody behind. You guys are going to have miracles in your life. Peace. Namaste. Vato loco. See you on the flip-flop. Essay. Homies. Spiritual gangsters. Yeah. Just be playful sometimes. Have fun. Smile. I love you, Holy Ones.